The Scum Villainy faction for X-Wing is finally here, and you can now pit squadrons of pirates, bounty hunters, and assorted criminals against the might of the Imperial Navy or the Rebel Alliance. Most Wanted is a huge expansion, featuring an incredible 20 pilot cards and 19 upgrade cards, in addition to the maneuver dials and templates for converting your existing Firespray 31, Rebel Y-Wing, and HWK 290 into the new faction. Because of the amount of content in this box, I'll be dividing my coverage of it into 3 videos. This video will give you an overview of the contents of Most Wanted, as well as explanations of what's new in the Scum Villainy faction. The next video will cover all of the pilots, and part 3 will cover the upgrade cards. Here's a look at the new versions of 2 familiar ships included in Most Wanted. The Y-Wing has a nice dirt and grime thing going on, while the pair of headhunters are sporting the colors and insignia of the Black Sun Criminal Syndicate. This is a good indication of the direction of the Scum Villainy faction. There will be no unifying art direction among these ships. Outside of the ones that belong to Black Sun, the majority of pilots here are lone wolves, just looking out for number 1. They might be sharing space in a squadron with other pilots, but they're more likely to ignore their teammates than to help them out. In addition to the 3 ships in the box, you also get everything you need to convert one each of a Firespray, Y-Wing, and HWK 290 over to Scum Villainy. This is impressive. Assuming you've already been playing X-Wing for a while and own those ships, a $40 purchase will set you up with 6 ships to form the core of your Scum squadron. It is worth noting that the maneuver options for all of these ships are exactly the same as their Rebel and Imperial counterparts. The Scum Villainy faction adds 2 new upgrade types to the game: Illicit and Salvaged Astromech. Illicit upgrades are illegal modifications that set the pilots of this faction apart from the militaristic empire and the justice-minded rebellion. Salvaged astromechs are similar to the standard astromechs used by the rebellion. To be honest, this upgrade is probably here as a sort of faction reset to keep the roster of rebel astromechs from being used by Scum pilots. This is a good thing, both to keep the new faction feeling fresh and to prevent a bunch of Scum Y-Wings flying around with R2-D2 on board. It'll be interesting to see if either of these new types of upgrades make appearances on the Rebel side in the future. They've got several pilots who wouldn't be above making illicit modifications to their ships. Han Solo, Lando Calrissian, and Dash Rendar, for example. And the Rebellion isn't exactly getting their astromech droids fresh off the assembly line either. But for now, at least, these new upgrades exist only as part of Scum Villainy. The other big addition to the game is a brand new maneuver called the Segnor's Loop. It works like a K-turn, with the ship flying forward and then ending its activation by making a 180-degree turn. The big difference is that instead of using a straight template, Segnor's Loop uses the banking template. Like K-turns, this is typically going to be a red maneuver and cause stress to your ship. It's a cool addition to the game, and it'll be interesting to see what new tactics and tricks it brings. Okay, to close out this introduction to the Scum Villainy faction, here's a look at all of the ships you'll have access to if you buy one of each Wave 6 expansion, and already also own or buy a Slave 1 Y-Wing and HWK 290. You'll have 7 different ships to choose from when building a squadron, with multiple pilots to select for each ship. Additionally, you'll have a second Y-Wing and Z95 Headhunter. This is a very impressive kickoff for a new faction. The Rebels and Imperials each have 9 unique ships in their hangars, so Scum Villainy already has almost caught up with just 4 expansion packs. That's how you introduce a new faction into a game that's been around for a few years, folks. Thanks for watching the Cardboard Dungeon. Keep an eye on our YouTube channel for part 2, where I look at all of the pilot cards included in the Most Wanted box. See you next time.